You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
It used to be that calling a film a turkey was an insult. Nowadays, there's actually an audience for some of the worst movies ever made.
Baby, you are gonna go broke showing turkeys like these.
Now we're talking turkey.
Gobble, gobble, motherfucker.
It's turkey time. Gobble, gobble.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Let's Talk Turkeys. I'm Movie Miss. I'm here with my co-host, Miss Nikki Flicks.
Got my notes. I'm ready for school.
All right. And joining us today, y'all, we have a special guest. Please welcome to the pod, Crash Christie. Hello, ma'am.
Hello there.
You ready for some schooling?
I'm ready for some summer and some school.
Yes, today we are talking the 1987 film Summer School. And I'm super excited about it, as I know my co-host and guest are. So let's jump right in.
Freddie Shoup loves to cut class, hates to do homework, lives for summer vacation.
Look, Freddie, you're a semi-charming guy and a real snappy dresser. You're just not the kind of guy I date anymore.
Yeah? What kind of guy you dating now?
Oh, the kind who wears socks.
And the only reason he hasn't been expelled yet is because he's the gym teacher.
Oh, Mr. Shoup.
At Oceanfront High.
Congratulations. You've been chosen to teach summer school. No, I'm not a real teacher. That's all right. These aren't real students. They're unmotivated, irresponsible, not too bright. They'll relate to you. You in this class, too? I'm teaching them.
No way!
Right off the bat, you show them who's in charge. Please take your seats.
Where should we take him?
Who is in charge?
I recommend this time, pass.
You're going to do well, Jerome. I can feel it.
I've seen some of your students. Very scary.
There's a very valid reason for summer vacation. The human brain needs rest. I know you guys aren't exactly fired up about English. We're stuck here. We're trapped like rats. Tension breaker had to be done.
Mark Harmon.
You need an intelligent, sensitive man who can skate.
Kirstie Alley.
Do you know such a guy?
Oh, they're hard to find.
And the Oceanfront High Summer School class of 87.
They're as smart as you and me. You and I. All of us.
Paramount Pictures presents a new film by Carl Reiner, Summer School.
I love this film. It had passion, a plucky spirit. Dave, I agree with you. Thumbs up from me. Same here. To sum it up, I'm James Out. I'm Dave. We'll see you at the movies.
It is one of those PG-13s that came out in the late 80s, and I feel like that was an appropriate rating. Yes, rating for this film, for sure. 98-minute runtime. I could not find any budget information on this, however. I do know it had a box office of a little over 35 million, so that was surprising to me in the late 80s. And we're able to discuss it today on Let's Talk Turkeys because it did have a critic score of 63%, but it had an audience score of only 58. That surprised me as well. It is technically a turkey. However, the three of us love this movie. Am I right, ladies?
Oh, yes. I'm stunned that the rating was what it was. I still have quotes from that movie. In fact, I think there's more quotes from that than so many others.
Yeah. I was surprised when I was rewatching it, how many lines I wrote in quotes and went, oh my God, I still say this to this day.
Yep, right there with you guys. Same over here.
All right. So real quick, I'm shocked that this movie works, and it does well, because the plot is so basic. It's such a basic premise. The plot is a gym teacher gets forced into teaching remedial English in summer school to a bunch of uninterested and unmotivated teenagers. Super basic plot, right?
Uh-huh.
But it works.
Totally works. Kudos to Jeff Franklin, the creator of Full House and many other things, for coming up with this concept and the script, because it, to me, stands out amongst 80s high school teenage movies. This movie is different. It is in a league of its own. You can't put it up there with the rest of those high school teenage movies in the 80s. It's just on another level.
Agreed. And it was also directed by Carl Reiner, which shocked me.
I actually looked up some of his work, and did you know that he directed The Jerk and Oh God?
I knew about The Jerk.
Yep. And Devin, Don't Wear Plaid. Yep. Yeah.
I was stunned.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He did a lot of great film work, and you get him in a great cameo too in the beginning as the English teacher who's going to get the hell out of there when he wins the lottery. That is Carl Reiner.
Yep. That's right. Okay. So a quick couple of people. Mr. Shoop, the main character, is played by Mark Harmon, and we have Kirstie Alley as the other teacher, who's the love interest, and some gentleman named Robin Thomas, who is Vice Principal Gills. Those are the top three characters. And I will say right out the gate, Vice Principal Gills gives me 40-year-old virgin Steve Carell vibes all day long.
First glance, I kid you not, I was like, double take. No, it's definitely not him.
Right. And then I do have the cast of characters, all the teenagers in this film, and I assume we can just kind of plug in who they are as we go along, because it's a long list. Okay, so let's jump right in. I do love this about 80s movies. As the logo starts to come up for Paramount, before you even get a shot of anybody doing anything, music. Fun, summery, upbeat 80s music.
What struck me with this one, as opposed to some of the other 80s movies that I've watched recently, is interesting to me that they have music in the beginning, music in the end, not much music in the movie.
Yeah.
If you look at it compared to some of the other ones that are popular and out there, they kind of didn't have much. So I'm kind of interested what the soundtrack would even.
If I did a little digging and looking, because I was piqued. It's the first time I thought about the music here. This first song with the opening credits, "Happy," by Mr. Danny Elfman, Mr. Oingo Boingo himself, who did do the score and help put together the soundtrack. And there are a few like pop songs with actual singers and words, but then there's also scored music throughout as well that was done by Danny Elfman, who, anyone who knows anything about his career, you got Pee-wee and all kinds of amazing scores and things that he's done a lot of work with Tim Burton. So yeah, that is definitely Danny Elfman with this opening song. And I love it. It makes you happy.
So the music is happening, and then we start to see a montage that starts us at the beach in beautiful, sunny Southern California, and it takes us to the school campus on what is clearly the last day of school. Everybody's saying goodbye to their friends, emptying their lockers, signing yearbooks. The thing that stuck out to me, though, in this whole montage that I have to point out immediately is the school district, and I read the patch, the school district security guard, special security guard. That is going around handing out the summer school slips to everybody who is genuinely shocked when they get handed a slip. Okay, as somebody, I will admit, who did have to attend summer school at one point during my high school career in the 80s, don't nobody have a security guard that comes around and hands you a slip. And it's also not a shock to you on the last day of school that you suddenly have to go to summer school. I'm just going to say.
Let me add that there wasn't that kind of security officer present in the 80s in school.
Not at our school.
And we were in Southern California, so it kind of made me giggle a little bit.
I think it depends. I think it depends on where your school is.
Well, they were right by the beach.
Yeah, because I was in junior high and high school in the early 90s, and we totally had a security guard who rode around on her bicycle, and people brought her coffee and shit. That was totally normal where I was in high school. But yeah, you pointed out something super obvious here, which is that's not how you find out you're going to summer school. You'd know you were failing.
Right?
before the last day.
Which leads me to the next scene. We meet Mr. Shoup in his gym class, counting down the last 2 minutes of school. And he says to his students sitting in the gym class, who better to give yourself a grade than you, the student? And
Right.
that's why your cards are all blank. You don't turn in your final grade in the last 2 minutes of school. Which I know it's a silly nitpick, but we're talking about it, so I've got to point it out.
Yeah, let's stop and think about it. As I said, Jeff Franklin wrote the script here. This is the guy behind his most popular work is Full House. So the logic of how things work versus let's make it convenient to set up our plot and meet the characters, maybe not his strong suit. But it is a convenient way to get a lot of info about the characters who we need to be watching and who Mr. Shoup is real quick, set it up.
Okay, I have to point out, I don't know if you guys have noticed this as well, but in the opening scenes, they paint out every stereotypical character that there possibly could be in the 80s. And if you look throughout the movie, they re-reference pointing out these particular stereotypical people every so often, and it happens to be over and over again throughout the movie. I found that really interesting.
That's true. So this next scene is where we meet Mr. Carl Reiner, who is scratching off lottery tickets, and we realize he is the assigned summer school teacher. And the only thing I wrote down about this scene that sticks out to me, you guys, cracks me up. He realizes he won, so he goes running into the vice principal's office and says he won $50,000. And I was like, that's maybe a lot in 87? That doesn't seem like a big enough amount to blow your gig off.
Well, the sad thing is, even today, that's just a little less than 2 years' salary for a teacher. Even today, ladies.
All right.
So maybe he's close to retirement,
Did look
and
like
he had a couple years left, and with this money, he's like, sayonara.
He only said sayonara to summer school. He didn't say sayonara to the job.
True.
So that was
Very
interesting to me that I actually paid attention and caught that.
Well, I do like that the vice principal gives him shit and says, you're a man of integrity. You gave me your word. And he says, that was my old word. The new one is money. You're friggin' morons. And off he runs.
Yep. I love Carl Reiner. I love him.
All right. So then cut to Mr. Gills, the vice principal, now scrambling to find a replacement for summer school. And all the teachers are fleeing. And he lands on Mr. Shoup, the last man standing in the parking lot, and threatens him with his tenure and tells him that he has to teach summer school. So he has to cancel his Hawaii trip and stick around. Wah wah.
As he says farewell to the token blonde in the movie.
She'll make friends. She'll be fine.
Yes. Clearly she is only 21 years old, as he points out later, because she's an idiot. Mark Harmon, are you kidding me? Mr. Shoup is a doll. Why would you want to go on that vacation alone, bitch? Stick around and spend the summer with him. He's so cute. He's adorable. You could hang out with him in Wondermutt at the beach. He lives on the beach. Like, what is wrong with you, honey?
Wondermutt. Yes.
Yeah. You get out of here, Kim. You're lost.
All right, so we cut to Mr. Shoup in his classroom, and he is getting set up for the day. He meets fellow teacher Robin Bishop, played by Kirstie Alley. When she comes over to get the push pins, she's sizing him up. I noticed this for the first time ever. I never noticed before. She's kind of trying to really size him up and get a feel, like, because he's dressed in his Hawaiian shirt and flip-flops.
They have really great chemistry, the two of them. And I mean, a big fan of her work anyway. She just always comes across as she's just smarter, a little bit smarter than everybody in the room. She's so sassy and she's easy to look at. She's just a fantastic actress, and she has good chemistry with him. And I pick up on that too. She is thinking he is really cute, but he's probably a pinhead. You can get that. And she's like, no, I need to walk away from you because you're cute and that's trouble. You can see that.
Here's the issue I have with this, because he's so likable, but you can tell he's also kind of a goof, because he asks her if she's single, and his girl, Kim, just left him to go to Hawaii. Like, you were in this ready to go with this other girl. So he says after he meets Robin, I can't believe it. I'm in love again. Like he's got a crush on Robin already. I'm like, you just got a blonde to ditch you. Like, hello, you're in love again? Like, what is this? So that couldn't take him seriously. I was like, oh, you're kind of a goof.
I mean, he's wearing flip-flops and a shirt ready for Hawaii. Can you expect a whole lot more? I mean,
that's true. And
exactly. He owns one pair of socks. Thank you.
Yes, he carries over that look into his first day of class because the next day, or maybe later that day, we get to meet the motley crew of students in his remedial English class. So we meet Kevin, the football jock, played by Patrick Labertow. I don't know how you say his name. We meet Dave and Chainsaw, the horror movie buffs. Dave is played by Gary Riley. Chainsaw, also Francis Gremp is his name, played by Dean Cameron. We meet Larry, the sleepy nocturnal guy. We don't quite know what his deal is, but he's very sleepy all the time. That is Ken Olent. We meet Pam, our little flaky surfer girl beach bum, played by the one and only Courtney Thorne Smith. We meet Jerome, and I don't think he was on the short cast list at the top, so I don't have his name, but he's not in it that much anyway.
No, he's not. He has to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, we meet Alan, the nerd of the group, and he's played by Richard Steve Horvitz. We meet Rhonda, the pregnant teen, played by Shawnee Smith, and Denise, the sassy, quote unquote, token black girl of the class that the 80s movies always had, but who cares? She's funny and I love her, played by the always awesome Kelly Jo Minter. So yes, and then of course there's the random few other people, which Christy, you pointed out, they show up here and there. You got the one guy who looks like a slacker in a trucker hat. He shows up randomly. You got the one Asian kid in the back. He shows up randomly throughout the scenes, but they're not key characters.
Okay, can I point out something that I found out while researching this movie? Mr. Gary Riley, aka Dave.
Yeah.
A year earlier was Charlie Hogan in Stand By Me.
No, he's one of Kiefer Sutherland's buddies, rather. Yes, one of his bunnies. I'm thinking ahead with the bunnies.
How many bunnies do you have?
Yeah, no, he's one of Ace's crew, the gang of older teenagers that hang out with Kiefer Sutherland. He's one of them.
I don't even remember that movie, honestly.
I do. He has like a buzz cut, short hair in that movie. Oh yeah.
I couldn't believe he was in the movie. I was like, wait, what? And I went back and looked at it. It was interesting.
All right. Well, Dave and Chainsaw are the up to the hijinks here because they take Mr. Shoop's keys immediately and hide them from him as class begins. And then Mr. Shoop, this is how cool he is. He plays along. He's like, I'm a fun guy. Let's see where this goes. And they're playing the hot and cold game for the keys.
I still, to this day, if someone's like, I can't find this, I can't find that, I will say, it's somewhere in this room. Right now, you're very cold. The first of many, many, many quotes that I still use daily from this movie.
Well, after a little while, he gets mad and he says, all right, that's enough of this shit. And the kids are like, oh, we can curse. And they all start cursing and saying crazy shit. And then Robin hears it in her class next door. So she comes over and she's like, can you guys keep it down and just stick to obscene gestures? And she like makes some obscene hand gestures.
Yeah, just focus on that.
I love her immediately.
Might I point out some of the words that they say? Did you ever use some of those in your daily routine or talking to your buddies?
No. Jismhead is not a common phrase.
Luggerhead or loggerhead, I believe it was.
I do call people butthole. So
yeah, it's okay, guys. You can say bullshit in here.
I'm grateful.
Yes.
All right. So Jerome, a very large black gentleman. I assume he's like on the football team or something, because I guess he was in that movie Necessary Roughness. He just has that look like he'd be on the football team or something. But he tells Mr. Shoop that he shouldn't be in this class and the computer made a mistake and I have to go to the bathroom, and he takes the bathroom pass and leaves. He's like, peace out.
But he brings it back at the end. He brings it back.
That's true. So yeah, so he leaves, and then a couple of the other kids are like, "Oh, yeah, I have to go to the bathroom too." So they start to leave. Mr. Shoop says he's going to call roll. You better get back here. I'm going to call roll. And then he can't find his roll sheet.
It's somewhere in this room.
That's how that scene ends. Yeah, with Chainsaw saying it's somewhere in this room. That is so funny.
Yes. What a great introduction to some of the kids' personalities. For me, it's all about Dave and Chainsaw. Obviously, I love them. And then Kelly Jo Minter is Denise. Oh my God,
so
I
sassy.
live for her. She is so fast talking and so sassy. I love it. This is my favorite movie with her. And there are so many gems from the 80s and 90s that she is a part of, but this is my favorite role of hers for sure.
So after class, Mr. Shoop goes into Robin's classroom to apologize to her for everything. And she tells him she's not interested in dating him because he is semi-charming, a snappy dresser, but he doesn't wear socks. That's your criteria why you won't date him?
Hey, he has a pair somewhere, white ones.
So then we see that she's actually dating Mr. Gills, Vice Principal Gills. So that's a little bit of a wah-wah. But Mr. Shoop, God bless him, he doesn't give up.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to get some quick cuts, and I'll just run through a couple of them real quick. The movie goes cut, 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 so we can see a little bit of our favorite teens in action. We've got cut to Denise, Miss Sassy herself, taking her driver's test, and she fails immediately because she goes right off a curb. We cut, we cut to Dave and Chainsaw, and for all you young kids out there, back when photos were taken and they were printed out and you had to go to a photo mat to get them processed, Dave and Chainsaw worked there. It was a little Insta booth, like a kiosk. And so it shows them at their job and they're real excited about this guy who turns in photos of his naked girlfriend, I guess, cooking breakfast. And then we cut to Rhonda, the pregnant girl, signing up for her Lamaze classes. We cut to next day in class. So basically we get a quick rundown of just a couple of them in their daily life. Any thoughts on any of that before we move on?
How about the shaming of Rhonda by the nurse taking the input, or, she's wearing nurse's outfit, but signing her up for the class. And it could be David Lee Roth, who's on tour, and the looks and the demeanor fits right into that time frame of what the attitude really was.
Yes, I got total shaming vibe, but then like you just said, she puts her right in her place and says, well, the father could be David Lee Roth, who's on tour, or it could be Sean Penn, but I don't want to upset Madonna.
Right.
She throws it right back at her.
Way to go, Rhonda. Shawnee Smith, pre Amanda in the Saw franchise days.
Oh, and right around the time she did The Blob, which she's also excellent in.
Uh-huh.
So then we cut to next day in class now. We got all the usual suspects and a few of the randos, like I was talking about, guy in the gray trucker hat, Asian boy in the back, blonde girl off to the side. Pam says she's having her period, so she needs to leave. Obviously, she's going to cut out and go surfing. We meet Anna Maria, the exchange student from Italy. Hello, bombshell. I did not appreciate this in the 80s. I appreciate her now. Girls got it going on.
Fabiana Udenio, I think her name is.
Oh, she's a lot of vagina from Austin Powers.
A lot of vagina who shared a wonderful hot tub with Austin Powers. Yes. What a gorgeous, gorgeous girl. And she is so great with her English as a second language being used as comedy.
Absolutely.
She's good. She has some comedic chops and she's beautiful girl.
Well, Dave and Chainsaw immediately realize that and they take right to her and they want to sit right next to her and everything becomes all about her. Mr. Shoop decides that he doesn't want to teach whatever they're doing, so he picks book reports and they all take a little field trip to the library. And the majority of the kids on the way to the library take off. They peace out. Bye. And Shoop doesn't even notice that they all leave.
Of course he doesn't notice. He's been teaching at the school at least a year and he doesn't even know a single one of these kids. Yeah, he clearly hasn't been paying very close attention to his students.
So at the library, Dave and Chainsaw are sitting there intensely explaining to little Miss Anna Maria all about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes, their critical analysis of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I didn't take notes on what they said exactly, but oh my God.
Yeah, they definitely have quite a bit of insight on the movie, and they love this film. They're giving their Siskel and Ebert in-depth analysis to this poor girl who has no idea what the hell they are talking about.
God bless her. She's just
Which
like,
they
okay.
do more than once in the movie as well.
Yeah,
that's true.
Fantastic.
So then the security guard apparently went off site to local Winchell's Donuts and found all the kids and escorted them back to the library. Okay.
He went on a donut run and ran into some students.
That's what I would assume.
Yeah,
yep, that's what happened.
So he also found Pam in the parking lot in her wetsuit because she clearly snuck out to go surfing. She's tickled that Mr. Shoup recognizes that, hey, it was a good day for surfing and you had to try to ditch. I get you, I understand. Sympathizes with her. So the kids all start complaining about having to be there, and Mr. Shoup agrees. I take issue with that attitude. You're in remedial English in summer school. Clearly something's not right in your world. Like, if you have to be there, suck it up and do some learning. Like, I don't know. That's just, I guess, my 40-year-old ass talking. If I was a teenager, maybe I wouldn't want to be there either.
I promise you wouldn't have. I don't think so.
Right.
Well,
in the middle of summer school, that would have been you. Don't even try it.
I did go to summer school though, guys. I did, and I showed up. All right. So they decide that they don't want to do this, so they're going to take field trips. Field trips is the way to go.
Movie montage.
Yes, we get montage, and I love that we cut to immediately go-kart racing, and pregnant Rhonda is the first one they show.
Right.
She
and
looks
poor
like
Denise.
She's 8 months pregnant.
Poor Denise can't even drive a damn go-kart. Oh, it's the easiest thing to drive in the world. It's easier than a big wheel, and she can't even do it. Poor girl.
Well, and this is one of the scenes where they really go out of their way to show each character's stereotypes. They show what's his face, Kevin? No, not Kevin. Larry sleeping on the table.
Oh yeah.
And her having issues with driving, and it's really interesting to me because they really make it a point. By the way, if you didn't remember, he's sleeping.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, we get more of that in a minute because we cut to them at a theme park. For those of us who grew up in Southern California, we know that this was at Knott's Berry Farm because they show them on the old version of the corkscrew, which Dave and Chainsaw refer to as the screwdriver when they're getting off of the ride.
Yes, when they give their critical analysis review of their ride.
It gave me all the feels.
Yep. I love that you can see the old school parachutes in the background, which are no longer there. It's now a tower with a drop ride. And yeah, the corkscrew, ripped to the corkscrew. It's no longer there. Been replaced by something a million times scarier now. But I love that. You get to see the old school Knott's. And of course, they take poor Iki and the geek on it, and he's off losing his lunch in the trash can right after.
That's when the review goes up.
Yeah.
We have a winner.
Yep. And then we cut to them in the theme park. They're now over at the petting zoo where, again, Larry is asleep on a tractor with some straw in his mouth and his feet up, and a goat is eating something out of his hand. Okay. Got it. He sleeps. Got it.
He's very, very tired.
Very tired. I have to admit, though, first time viewing way back in the 80s, I was like, what is that kid's problem?
Is he narcoleptic? Yeah. What's going on?
Yes. Nocturnal.
And then we cut to a goat eating some of Mr. Shoup's Rolling Stones t-shirt through a fence, and he gets upset, and Pam is right there, Surfer Pam. So she offers immediately to sew it for him because she's got goo-goo eyes for him ever since he connected with her in the library. So yes, she's like, I'll fix that for you.
I can't. I can't. I just can't. The idea of, oh, that's okay. I'll sew it for you. And he's just like, okay, that man that just is clueless when it comes to women in advances. Hello.
Oh yeah, it takes him way too long to figure out that she's got the goo-goo eyes, as you said, for him. Way too long.
Yes, and then we cut to one of my favorite scenes in the movie, and I'm sure both of yours as well. Dave and Chainsaw come running out from the side, screaming, holding white rabbits on their faces, blood everywhere. They act like they're being attacked. Anna Maria screams and throws the rabbit she's holding at somebody else, and they freak out like they're being killed and they fall to the ground. And it obviously turns out that it was fake latex and paint and shit. I love that scene.
And the slowly ripping away of the rabbits from the face as things start to peel.
Does anybody remember what Anna Maria says?
When she says it's disgusting, because they tell her they did it for her, and she says it's disgusting. I love it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Can I just say, this moment probably responsible for turning me into the monster that I am today. I fell in love with working in the haunted house industry and being a haunter, and gore and blood and scaring the piss out of unsuspecting people. I'm pretty sure this scene is what inspired me to want to do that. So thank you, Dave and Chainsaw, and thank you to those bunnies, because it's freaking glorious. You're talking pre-Jackass. They're out there doing something like this, pulling a stunt like this. Genius. This is one of the things that makes this movie very unique. I've never seen characters like them obsessed with this kind of crap in an 80s high school teenage movie. They're very unique kids, and I love it because I relate to them.
Well,
I don't relate to the typical kids in these movies.
This movie is the reason I got obsessed with and fell in love with horror at such a young age. Chainsaw was it. Not only did I think he was handsome, like so cute, I had the biggest crush on him. Everything, his room, you get to see later, horror stuff everywhere, posters, movie stuff, but horror stuff especially. Yeah, this movie hooked me up for horror movies.
I do think that was one of the driving factors with his character. I did note that a good portion of the quotes are Chainsaw quotes. The ones that you remember that live with you forever, majority of them are from him.
That tracks.
And so I think that it's responsible for a lot of people being warped and demented, such as us.
Definitely. Yeah.
That tracks. All right. So then we cut to the next field trip, which is at the beach. I was so happy that Wonder Mutt got to go. I'm just going to say. And you get to see this cute little gross raggedy doll head called Bob that Mr. Shoop keeps throwing out, and he runs and fetches it. And for some weird reason, it comes back and makes an appearance at the end of the movie. So it matters. I'm telling you, Bob matters.
Oh yeah. Bob matters to Wonder Mutt.
Yes. And I made a note too. I thought it was funny that Anna Maria doesn't understand that you don't strip naked, and she starts to undress, and Dave and Chainsaw are letting her. And then Denise stops her.
It's not the Riviera, honey.
That was nice though. Field trip to the beach. And of course, they made sure to show us that Larry curled up his towel and used it as a pillow.
Because he's still very sleepy. Yes, this is an ongoing thing. It's not just one bad day. He's sleeping all day, every day.
So next scene, we get the nerd, Alan. His grandma marches him into Mr. Gill's office and complains that he was sneezing because he was around the barnyard animals. And she wants to know what kind of summer school class takes field trips instead of learning. They confront Mr. Shoop, and Mr. Gills suspends him. And then he turns around and says, well, Gills, what if I become a model teacher and I get all of these kids to pass their skills test? And Gills, being the prick that he is so tickled by Mr. Shoop's quote unquote failures that he's like, okay, let's see what you got, hotshot. I love to hate Mr. Gills.
Does his laugh right there not give you the creeps to this day? And you're like, what is happening?
Yeah, this guy. Yeah, what a condescending prick.
Yeah, it's like, don't you wish the whole time you're like, I wish Robin could see you acting like this. She wouldn't want to date you.
Mm-hmm.
Next day in class, Mr. Shoop shows up with his briefcase, dressed all in a suit and tie, looking snappy. And he tells the kids to take their seats because they're standing around.
Where should we take them?
Sit down, Francis.
That's right. He calls
There you go.
Chainsaw Francis, and it pisses Chainsaw off.
I can't tell you how many times I have been near Christy and she has said, sit down, Francis. To me, to someone else who needs to sit, she still says it. And then, of course, whenever someone says, take your seat, I always have to say, where should we? I still quote this stuff all the time.
And as she pointed out a second ago, it's a chainsaw line.
Absolutely.
So they get upset and they go to leave, Dave and Chainsaw. And Shoop tells them, look, you guys, basically, I'm going to lose my job if you don't kick it into gear and get this learning shit past the test. My job's on the line. So little nerdy Alan jumps up and decides he's going to be the go-between here and negotiates a deal between Mr. Shoop and the students to grant them all a wish as long as they agree to show up, pay attention, and do some homework. I get it. This movie's light on plot and it's fluffy and it's fun. I was so annoyed by that now. Again, I hate to keep saying this, you guys, because this is an awesome movie and I love it. But in my 40-something-year-old, I'm like, really? You don't make deals with these fucking kids to give them this crazy shit they want so that they'll fucking do themselves a favor and learn.
Well, you have to remember too, though, that the type of teacher you're dealing with as well. And I think that they take that into account when they wrote this, is that he is not a Robin Bishop. He is not somebody that would look at them and say, sit your asses down, let's do some work. He's the teacher that doesn't want to be there and doesn't know how to teach. I'm not totally surprised that they went that route, even though I do agree with you that it's nuts.
I love to point out here, not only is this about the kids needing to learn work ethic and the value of paying attention and getting their education, Mr. Shoop needs to learn how to do his job properly and how to get the most out of it and use his abilities and talents and skills in his career. He needs to learn something here too. Exactly. So yeah, he's a little behind because he still doesn't get it and he's going to accept this cockamamie offer they're making.
Yes,
that he'd do them favors.
Let's jump to this cockamamie offer. Let's run down this little list of favors. So on the outset here, we get Denise asking for driving lessons, which honestly she needs. Kevin, the football guy, needs somebody to work out with in case he makes it back on the team. Again, not unreasonable. Rhonda needs a Lamaze partner. Okay. And Dave and Chainsaw have two. So they decide they want to have a party at Mr. Shoop's house and screen Texas Chainsaw Massacre in class. Those were the ones I thought were unreasonable, like ridiculous to agree to. And then they decide Anna Maria doesn't need one because she's not a real student. And she says, that's fine. I don't need one. They say, okay, we'll take hers. They want chauffeur service to and from work by Mr. Shoop. I think Dave and Chainsaw really worked the system here.
That's what they're used to doing. I think that they do what they can get away with. And it's kind of an example of that behavior being steered that way and allowed, entitled.
And then Pam, the surfer bum, she tells Mr. Shoop that she'll let him know what her wish is when the time is right.
Mm-hmm. I roll.
Larry, as a surprise to everybody, wants a bed in class.
Which they reference at the end that he had one, but I never saw one.
Oh, no. There's a cot. They bring in a cot.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, there's a cot.
And then the final one is Alan himself saying, I just want to be invited to the party.
Wah, wah.
This kid just came up with this idea, negotiated it, got Shoop to agree, and that's all he gets.
Well, he does get a good line for us.
We'll see.
He does get to say, we put that baby to bed.
Let's do lunch.
Oh, so then after that's over, Mr. Shoop pops over to Robin's classroom and asks for her help on how to teach because the kids are ready and he doesn't know what to do. Just like you pointed out, he's got some learning of his own to do. So they make plans to get together on the weekend and she's going to help him out.
Yes.
So yeah. And then we cut to the weekend. All I could think in this scene right out the gate was nostalgia for my childhood because she's eating chocodiles, which is my favorite guilty snack pleasure to this day. And there's a big old little tin can of Hawaiian Punch. They're eating Pop-Tarts. Like it's all like the junk snack that we ate in the 80s and the can of Punch. I was like, oh man, I want to go back there.
I miss chocodiles the way they used to be.
Yes. Not that shit they try and pass off now. But they're at this beautiful beach house that Mr. Shoop has. And I wouldn't be able to concentrate if I was her. I'd be all about being at the beach and having chocodiles. I wouldn't even. And Mr. Shoop, I mean, you're sitting there looking at dreamy Mr. Shoop. How could she concentrate at all?
Yes, much like the dilemma that the poor gal in Transylvania 65000 has when she loses her child because she's too busy sitting there drinking with Jeff Goldblum. Yeah, you become slightly stupid in that moment. I'm surprised that Robin can hold it together here, because if I was sitting on that beach with Mark Harmon in 1985, I'd be pretty distracted. So good job, Robin.
He does hit on her, and she turns him down again because she's still seeing that bite in the ass gills.
Mm-hmm.
Then we cut to class, Mr. Shoop giving a lesson on how to write letters to get free stuff, because he knows that'll interest the kids. And there's not enough 80s cheesy references in this movie. They talk about a payphone stealing your money, and then Chainsaw says, well, let's write about my shades because my shades keep falling apart. And I was like, the chocodiles, the punch, payphone stealing your money. Like, I wanted more 80s things to give me the 80s feel, and I didn't feel like this movie delivered on that. So I was a little bummed in a rewatch, because this is a classic 80s movie in my opinion.
To me, that's kind of what makes this movie a little bit above and beyond most of the similar fare, is that there is a timeless quality that you don't get with, a lot of the John Hughes movies, and all these raunchy comedies that came out in the 80s are very dated. This one has a lot less of that, so it makes it feel a little more timeless.
Another interesting thing, though, on the flip side of that, is that this movie had more of the scenery and the things in the background that take you back. People on the beach, shirtless in roller skates, those types of things. They have a lot more. If you look at the scenery and the background, they did a darn good job of going back that way. So I do have to give them that.
And of course you get, Knott's Berry Farm as it looked in 1985, which you can't see anymore. And I can see that.
All right, so then we cut to a quick montage of Mr. Shoop helping the various students with their different favors or wishes. We've got him working out, we've got him driving, we've got him going to Lamaze. And the one that's my favorite is, again, a chainsaw line. They're giving Denise a driving lesson, and he decides to couple that with the chauffeur service for Dave and Chainsaw. And she's going so slow, she pulls over, and Chainsaw says, we just got lapped by an old lady in a walker.
Uh-huh.
I still say that.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Oh,
And when she's trying to parallel park, I mean, God bless her, I'm 40 some odd years old. I still can barely parallel park. And then she's up on the curb, and he says, oh, I guess we're done for the day. And we live. How many times did I do that to my poor teenager when I was teaching her to drive, and we arrived somewhere? I'd go, we live.
That's right up there with the girls just want to have fun. Parking space in front.
That's a good omen. Yep, exactly.
So then we cut to the favor of the party at Mr. Shoop's house. Dave and Chainsaw have fireworks. We cut to a sweet scene on the beach between pregnant Rhonda and Kevin, where he's talking to her, just, getting to know her. I like that. We cut to Pam giving Mr. Shoop back his t-shirt that she fixed, and he's in his bedroom kind of away from the party. So she basically just kind of hits on him in her 17-year-old way, talking about their age difference.
It takes him just a few beats too long to realize that what she's saying is totally inappropriate and they shouldn't be there. It takes him just a little too long. He does nothing inappropriate, which I appreciate, but he's just a little too damn dim-witted to figure this out. What she's saying is wrong. Get the hell out of there. You shouldn't be in this bedroom with this 16-year-old girl.
Right.
Wake up, buddy.
He finally figures it out when she puts herself on his bed.
Right.
Yes.
Like, nope, that's enough. That's enough of that.
Ding, ding, ding. The lights went off.
So they go out to the front room where Dave accidentally sets fire to Mr. Shoop's couch with the fireworks because he throws one out, but Wonder Mutt fetches it. God bless him, and he brings it back in. What a good dog.
He's a good boy.
He is. He just wants to be the goodest boy.
I was going to say, there's a moment right before this happens that makes me laugh, is when
Sure.
Denise is talking to Alan the geek, and she says, this party's getting boring. Take off your clothes. And he says, do you want everyone to go home? And then he starts laughing. She's like, you're almost fun tonight. And then he just loses his lunch again.
Yeah, and then she goes, almost.
Almost, yeah. I freaking love that moment. Do you want everyone to go home? And
That's
then
cute.
yes, the couch and the firework. Oh my God, that
And they grab the fish tank and dump his fish tank on the couch.
oh, these stupid kids, Chainsaw and Dave, mostly Chainsaw. He's the brains behind the operation.
They did have a successful melon launch shortly before that, though.
Yes, and I love the melon bombs in Anna Maria's honor.
Yeah.
And then we cut to the next day, Dave and Chainsaw on the beach, day drinking.
Good Lord, these kids, these two.
And the beach cops pull up and Mr. Shoop covers for them and winds up getting arrested. He calls Robin just as she and Gills are heading out for their weekend in the wine country, and she decides that they're going to go bail him out. I do like that she gets to see what Gills is really like, because he's, let's go, we're going to hit traffic. And she's like, no, we're going to go bail our friend Mr. Shoop out of jail. She's getting a little taste of what we already know. So we cut to Mr. Shoop now. He's been bailed out. And I like that he's sitting talking all sad with Wonder Mutt on the beach about his feelings and what he's going to do. And he's feeding peanut butter and jelly to the dog and himself with his fingers. I'm a dog lover, but I don't love my dog like that enough to let it lick my fingers and stick them in the peanut butter jar and then eat. I'm a dog lover, and I think that's disgusting.
Every time I watch that scene, like, you ever get that little nauseous tickle in your throat that you want to vomit? Every time I see that scene.
Yeah, he's at rock bottom there, isn't he? Doesn't even have any bread, and him and Wonder Mutt are just licking peanut butter right off the same. But I have to say, there are deleted scenes somewhere, and I wish I could find them. I've looked, I can't find them. There was a prior scene when they were in the classroom. The lyrics to Papa's Got a Brand New Bag were on the chalkboard. Apparently, there's a deleted scene where Mark Harmon was breaking down that song for them lyrically and singing it to them.
Really?
I want to see that. So I feel like this moment here where he's sitting here with Wonder Mutt, you cut to really bizarrely and quickly. He's dressed in that suit and he's in a strip club. What the actual hell? There's something in between there that led him to a strip club, but we don't see it.
There is, because I have odd cut to strip club ladies' night as my next note. He's there.
Let me point something out, though. When he's sitting on the beach, Wonder Mutt, we need a little culture, a little intellect. Cut strip club.
Yeah, like what? Yeah, he's talking about what kind of man that Robin needs. She needs somebody with culture and intellect. Well, someone who's going to put on that ugly suit and go to a strip club. Well, no, it's, to me, it's like there's probably something missing here where he was following that kid Larry, saw him go here, or there's something missing, and it doesn't make any damn sense why he ended up in this strip club with male strippers.
Well, he's there, and he runs into Larry, sleepy Larry, who is wide awake and shaking his little tallywhacker at anybody that'll give him a buck and shove their tongue down his throat. My God, this is an 80s movie. Mr. Shoop bumps into Larry because he's gonna run off the floor now. He's done tonguing these ladies and getting his $5 bills. Larry's like, don't blow my cover because they think I'm 21 here. I love the line that he says to Mr. Shoop, you know, something to the effect of, and I don't know if one of you wrote this down, don't you wish you could go back and be 17 and like know what you know now?
Right.
Isn't that something like what he says? I didn't write it down.
That's exactly what he says. Imagine if you could be 17, only you know then what you know now. And he's like, well, I know.
Yes, yes.
Oh, do you? Do you really?
Do you? Is your DeLorean out back?
Apparently you're definitely getting around and feeling your oats there, buddy. But yeah, this kid's a little hornball, and he's taking advantage of it. I guess he's at his sexual peak. He says he's at his prime.
Well, I have to admit, when I was younger and saw this for the first, time or two, I was shocked that that's why he was sleepy all the time. I did not expect that to be the reason.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. I like that when he bumps into him. Also, I wanted to point this out real quick. We don't know why he's there, because he just says, don't I know you? Hey, cowboy, to Larry. And Larry's like, what are you doing here? And Mr. Shoop, what are you doing here? Shoop doesn't answer the question. Why were you at a strip club on ladies' night, Mr. Shoop?
Because he's there to pick up horny women looking at the strippers, yo.
That's what I'm saying. I can't figure out, like, really, he was 2 seconds ago, he was lamenting over Robin and what she must want in a guy. And now he's out picking up sleazy women in a strip club? Really? It seems like he's moving backwards. Mr. Shoop is devolving at this point.
Well, then we cut to class. And again, another thing that we love to still use, they're giving their book reports. And Dave and Chainsaw are giving their report on who we admire most in the world and why. And they chose Rick Baker. I like that when they're reading it, it's a couple sentences and then it's the word very. Very, 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 very much. 100 words on the nose, you can count it.
Yep.
And I like it that it's the one brain factor again, where they're both taking credit for that one paper.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like two peas in the same pod. They do everything together.
Even their grades.
Yeah, and Pam's book report is very vague and it doesn't pick anybody to admire. Isn't there enough pain in the world? I'm like, oh, really? With your surfer existential bullshit? Like, Denise says that she couldn't pick somebody she admires most, so she picks somebody she admires least, which is her ex Andre. And she had to memorize her essay because she was accosted by a gang looking for homework or something.
Yes.
Yes.
They were mugging people for money and homework.
Yes. I love that. She's like, he's her ex-boyfriend Andre walking around like he's Rick James' little brother or something. I still say that too. I still quote that.
Oh, I swear that was on Chappelle's show or something.
Oh my God, so funny. Yeah. But then of course we know why she didn't want to write it down. We find that out a little bit.
Yes.
Poor girl.
Yes.
Yeah. She memorized it because she got mugged by homework robbers.
I think we ran into those when we were in school too, once or twice.
Maybe a few times.
Gang members were all about the homework.
So Pam shows up at Mr. Shoop's house later, stating her wish is to live with him because it's too crowded at her brother's house. He agrees. Bad idea, Mr. Shoop. Did he not pick up what she was throwing down at the party?
He says it's because everybody else got their wish. So who is he to single her out? Excuse me, sir. You know how this little girl has been batting her eyelashes at you. The thing that irks me the most is she's like, it's too crowded at my brother's house and I got kicked off the couch. And he says, well, my couch isn't any better. And she says, the floor is fine. Why isn't the floor at your brother's house fine, you dumb girl? Why isn't Shoop offering to buy her a cot like Larry's and stick it at her brother's house? He needs to turn her around and send her back home and help her another way. God dang it. Like, this pisses me off when he lets this happen.
He's in love with him and wants them to be together forever.
He ought to know better. He ought to be, the brother's right there. He could just say, hey, this is not an appropriate situation. Can I help you out some other way, guys? He could work that out, but no, he wants a little 16-year-old housekeeper.
Yeah, she goes outside. I can stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, you can go with them. So then we cut to Texas Chainsaw Massacre being shown in class the next day. Mr. Gills comes in to deliver a box to Mr. Shoop and he says, I probably don't want to know what's in this, do I? And I like when he asked Mr. Shoop, what are you watching? And he says it's a new film from the district on the safe use of power tools. So then he opens up the box and it turns out it is free sunglasses for everybody because of the letter that Chainsaw wrote from when they had to do that in class. And I love all the nostalgia. Once again, the 80s, all the glasses. The crazy off-center, crooked, different colors and the window blind look on one of them, all the little slats in the front, neon colors. And then Denise gives her letter to Alan and says, can you help me make mine sound more official? And Alan turns right around and shows it to Mr. Shoop. Turns out that Denise needs some help because she is dyslexic. And that's why she wasn't writing her homework down, her book report, we find out.
Yep, it's pretty pathetic that it's true. A kid can actually make it all the way through high school without anyone ever noticing or caring enough to point out and help them. I've seen it happen. It's pathetic, but yeah, good on that kid for realizing he should show it to Mr. Shoop because yeah, she needs a specialist and then she'll get right back on track.
Yep. Then we have a scene of Kevin asking Rhonda out on a date and she says, well, maybe you could go with me to my Lamaze class. I was like, oh. So then Mr. Shoop shows Robin Denise's letter and she's the one that points out to Mr. Shoop that she's dyslexic. And then he continues to hit on Robin some more. And then we cut to Denise taking her driver's test. Chainsaw has to take his as well at the same time. And he asks Mr. Shoop if he can use his car. And of course, he crashes it and fails, brings back Mr. Shoop's bumper. And Denise passes hers. And she tells Mr. Shoop she owes it all to him. Thank you so much. Anything I can do for you? And he says, yeah, as a matter of fact, there is. You can see a specialist about your dyslexia.
I like that he leaves the choice to her. Not going to force her to talk to somebody, but tells her, hey, you should.
Let's back up for a second because Chainsaw has a couple of wonderful quotes as he crashes the car. First, he gets out and says, I stayed sober for this. There's number one.
Right?
Come back, you dumb dildo. Oh, wait, you're not a dildo. I didn't mean that. We got to give mention to the
Yes. I don't know how many times I've looked around and said, I stayed sober for this, but it is quite a golden nugget. I was happy to skip over these lines because it just reminds me of that gorgeous Ford Falcon being crashed, which really makes me feel upsetty spaghetti. That is such a beautiful car. And Chainsaw, there was no damn reason for him to be acting like that. He knows how to drive. He was being cocky and stupid during that test, little fool, ruining that beautiful car.
Well, Mr. Shoop gets home that night from his traumatic day of his car being wrecked, and good old Pam has cooked him dinner and starts calling him honey, which red flag. Robin shows up and asks him what's going on, and he tells her she's just crashing for a few days. Robin tells him that this is clearly a bad idea. Thank God the voice of reason at some point here. So he goes in and tells Pam she needs to move out. And in classic teenager style, she overreacts and storms out.
Very dramatic. Very dramatic.
Oh, she's just crushed. So the next day in class, Larry tells Mr. Shoop he got fired from the strip club because his mom came to a show. Bound to happen at some point, right? Moms are horny too.
And who did he kiss with tongue?
His aunt.
His aunt, yes.
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
I do like this line too. He says, once a guy hits 18, man, it's all downhill. But Shoop says, but it's a lovely ride. Yes, sir.
It's all downhill after 18. Only a 17-year-old would say that.
Right? And then they all take a field trip to court because Mr. Shoop has to appear before the judge for that day drinking incident. And I love that the judge asks to see Dave's fake ID that he bought the alcohol with. And Dave's like, I'd rather you didn't. And the judge is all, I'd rather you did. I'll take a pass on that, Judge.
Yes, and then he points out that he was a Black Marine in 1968.
Well, nom changes a man.
It changes a man.
So
oh my God.
And then he stays up there at the podium and tries to take it back.
That was right.
Smacked on the hand.
So I do like that Robin jumps up and speaks on Mr. Shoop's behalf, and then the charges get dropped. He gives them all a warning, and then this is my favorite part with Gills. He's outside threatening Shoop and calls him and his students losers. Robin hears it, catches him, and breaks up with him by saying one of the best lines ever. She says, why don't you go? Oh, they were supposed to go on a lunch date. She says, why don't you go on ahead, order 2 lunches, and eat them yourself? 1 for each face.
Drop mic.
Yes.
So good.
Tell him, Robin. Tell him.
Finally got to see what we all knew already.
Mm-hmm.
Peace out, sucker. The next day in class, the students refuse to give some extra effort, and Mr. Shoop starts to yell at them and reminds them that everything he's been put through, and he quits. So Mr. Gills comes in, tells them all, Mr. Shoop quit. Let's read a book, chapter whatever. And the kids all sit there and start humming.
I cannot study. I'm going to the library.
The bell rings, and Mr. Gills tells them, if you all act like psychopaths tomorrow, you'll be sorry. I love that Dave and Chainsaw are like, ooh, we'll be sorry.
Famous last words, Mr. Gills. You should not have said that.
Challenge accepted.
Exactly.
Cut to the next day, Mr. Gills is walking his sweet-looking substitute, salt-of-the-earth-looking substitute teacher down the hall to the classroom. Denise comes flying out of the room, screaming, covered in blood. They go into the classroom, and I didn't write down the specifics, but basically every student gets a glorious shot of a special effects laden death scene. They're all dead. It's glorious. Did anybody take notes on any of the specifics?
Oh, I did. Trucker Boy reappears after taking the tongue out of Kevin and smacking him on the face with it. He smacks Kevin, ding, 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 with his own tongue.
That's
and then
right.
he pops up, and it's the trucker guy, the guy with the trucker hat that hasn't been there the rest of the movie.
Yep. There's so much. I have to say, because I own this movie on Amazon, the X-ray, the trivia, really fun thing I saw in there. Carl Reiner arranged to make sure they shot this scene on Halloween, on October 31st, so that all the kids could go out with their friends to their Halloween parties that night with these makeups on if they wanted to.
I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that.
Imagine as a teenager in this movie getting to go shoot this scene on Halloween. How fucking fun is that? And then, yes, I love, I think it's Rhonda has the ruler in her mouth and her fingers were in the pencil sharpener. Oh my
Yes.
God, it looks so gross. And then this is where you see Larry's bed. He's laying on the cot and it looks like he's been cut in two and his guts are hanging out. And he's got the eyeball hanging out. That's his
With the
bed,
pencil.
Larry's little bed.
Let me interrupt you there. That is the same actor who is in the movie, which we will cover in the future, called April Fool's Day.
Yes.
The eyeball and the eyeball in the mask in April Fool's Day. I believe the guy has his eye popping out and he takes it off and sticks it on his face. The same actor. That's all I could think of. I was like, what is it with him and eyeballs in the 80s? And then Anna Maria, I remember she was strung up by the neck and had a knife in her stomach.
And Pam's throat has been cut and she's bleeding profusely from there. Little Ekian pops out and he's got that giant saw blade in his head.
Yes. And then
So
after
good.
he falls dramatically to the floor, you hear chainsaws buzzing, and in come Dave and Chainsaw screaming and flinging their chainsaws around all Texas Massacre style. Dave's like, it's just like you said, Gills. We're psychopaths.
Mhm.
I love it.
He
That's
asked
what you
for
get.
it.
100% asked for it. And then they tell Gills they want Shoop back. Give him his job back. We want him back. So we cut to Shoop and Wonder Mutt on the beach. The kids all show up in their full gross costume, like they just came from the classroom. The only difference that I noticed was Rhonda doesn't have the ruler in her mouth anymore, but her mouth is still shaped like she should, but you can see her teeth because she smiles and says, please.
Mhm.
I was like, where'd the ruler go? That's weird. Yeah, they all look gross and they ask him to come back and help him pass the test. So there was that.
And this is where poor Wondermutt loses Bob for good. Shoop throws Bob and Wondermutt can't find him. It's so sad, but Wondermutt's heart will go on.
I don't want him to be sad. So then begins this montage. We love us an 80s music montage set to a classical sounding song, which I liked, showing everyone studying and taking the practice test. I don't remember anything that stuck out to me in this montage, except it's just cute to see everybody in their own environment doing their studying and practicing, like Dave and Chainsaw are studying at work and the kid in the football's on the field, and like everybody in their own environments.
Chainsaw with an eyeball in his mouth.
Yep. And then the night before the test, Chainsaw has this horrendous nightmare. He has a nightmare that he can't remember anything, which obviously stress induced. A lot of pressure, got to pass that remedial English test. So
Yes, I love it when he wakes up, or so he thinks in his nightmare. The little way he wakes up, he's got that severed hand that starts rubbing his chest. I want me one of those. That's fantastic.
And then the mom asks him, how do you want your eggs? And he says, I don't know. What are eggs?
Yeah.
And they ask him questions and he's going,
I don't know anything. Yep.
Yeah, bad nightmare. And then next day, everyone shows up to the hall for their test. Enter Jerome with his bathroom hall pass from the beginning of the movie.
His zipper got stuck.
Yep, Shoop's like, where have you been?
Bathroom.
And then Gills brings in the security guard again. Okay.
This officer is here to ensure that there's no cheating.
Yes, I love that.
So
and
silly.
then we have yet another glorious thank you chainsaw moment.
Yes, right before the test is going to begin, there's a pause, and Chainsaw lets out the most horrifying yell for, I don't know, 8 seconds. It's so good. And then he's like, well, tension breaker had to be done.
Yes. And then you get into when they're taking the test here, this song that starts playing. The song is called Mind Over Matter. It's sung by E.G. Daly, Elizabeth Daly. And if you don't know who she is, she's Dottie from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. She was in Valley Girl. She's a huge voiceover actress. She's one of the Powerpuff Girls. She's Tommy from Rugrats. Yeah, she's like legendary voice.
I knew she could sing because she was on an episode of Friends and sang Smelly Cat with Phoebe.
Yes, right. Super funny because when I realized for the first time that's E.G. Daly, I Googled to see if there's a music video, and there totally is. And a bunch of the kids from the movie are in the music video. And the music video, as it played on MTV, starts with Chainsaw doing the tension breaker, and then it goes into the song in the video. So
That's
80s.
Amazing.
Yeah, so 80s. Even Carl Reiner was in the video running around. Yeah. So there you go. Any 80s you thought was missing, Google that music video and you'll go, oh yeah, that's the 80s. All the kids from the movie making cameos.
Well, like you said, the montage starts and it shows them all taking the test. Rhonda starts to go into labor. She starts timing it and doing her breathing, but she keeps taking that test like the trooper she is.
And I love that Kevin tells her, can't you slow it down? Can't you wait? What?
Because that's how that works.
That's not how it works, dum-dum. You were in Lamaze class. Come on.
I do love the look she gives him when he says that.
Are you freaking kidding me right now?
And insert dumb jock here.
Right.
And then Mr. Gills pops in to tell them that they have 30 seconds left. And I love that you hear everybody going, just a minute. And Dave going, C.
Yep. I still do that whenever I'm filling something out sometimes.
With the little bubbles.
I definitely tried it on a quiz, a test or two in high school. Got a pretty good grade. So I think Dave might be onto something. C. And of course, Jerome, he's already done. He's been done for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. And then at the very end, Kevin and Rhonda run out because they're off to the hospital to have the baby.
Yes. And Dave asked that they save the afterbirth.
Yes. Save the umbilical
cord.
I like the look they give him, like, really? And then we cut to now all the kids sitting around out on Mr. Shoop's beach house on the patio. And Rhonda tells them that she gave the baby up for adoption to a really good home because she wasn't ready to be a mother. Chainsaw is very disappointed that she didn't save him the umbilical cord. So gross. Oh, Mr. Shoop shows up, tells them all of your scores are going to get mailed to you. Didn't care for that. I don't know why they didn't get to find out. Why wouldn't they tell the teacher? I don't know. We cut to the principal's office. He's back now. Gills and Mr. Shoop are in there and they're discussing all of Mr. Shoop's antics. And Gills clearly wants him fired. And then families start to show up. Chainsaw, Dave, Rhonda, Alan, Denise, Kevin, all their family in support of Mr. Shoop. He points out all their scores, even though only 2 of them passed, I believe. They all had a pretty good improvement. They say the average improvement was 125%. So clearly something worked. Mr. Shoop is a good teacher after all, and the principal grants him his tenure. So yay, big happy ending. But I do like in this scene, Dave and Chainsaw's parents point out that they share the same brain.
Right. And when they find out that Dave passed and Chainsaw's like, you asshole. He's I can take it again. I know I can fail. Are you kidding me right now? I like the point they're making here, which is that standardized testing sometimes is really not fair. It's not an accurate picture of how well kids are doing. And I like that they point that out. I like that the principal agrees that that's not all there is to it and that he's been doing a better job. If these kids if they'd gotten it from the beginning, they would have passed. They got on too little too late to trying is the thing. You give them one more semester, senior year, they're going to pass the test.
So let's cut to now the end where Shoop and Robin are walking on the beach together. Wonder Mutt is looking out sad at the water, and up washes Bob. Bob's back.
Yay.
Happy ending for Wonder Mutt. That's all I care about. Cue the credits.
Yes. Yes.
No. So Mr. Shoop and Robin, they kiss, and it's so sweet because he's putting on chapstick, and she's like, "Can I have some of that?" And then she kisses him to get it.
I still use that move to this day on my husband.
Aww.
I love that move. That's a tried and true method. Thank you, Robin. Yeah.
And then we get the freeze frame, the 80s freeze frame ending. And the music starts, end credits.
With Wonder Mutt in their face, looking and kissing both of them.
I was trying to skip that part, but we can get gross.
We're not going to skip that. Let's be real.
That's so gross. Again, dog lover here. That's disgusting.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Yeah, but they freeze frame. So before I go on to my final 3 questions for you guys, is there anything that you feel like was important, jumped out at you that we didn't touch or cover?
I do. Chainsaw's mother, when she wakes him up after he has the nightmare. Well, what was it about, son? I don't know. She says, I don't know. But the reason I'm pointing that out is because she is also Ricky's mom in Better Off Dead.
Oh my gosh, what a great catch.
Yes,
that's fantastic.
Interesting.
Little different of a character there.
That's good stuff. So let's jump to the 3 questions. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Before we get to the 3 questions, I want to throw out there, I did research a little and found that in 2012, Adam Sandler's production company, Happy Madison Productions, bought the rights to this to do a potential remake of it. What are our thoughts on that? Because in my opinion, make something new, similar. Don't remake this.
I don't know how you could remake it and maintain the quality of characters, because youngsters now, it's a little different. I mean, I guess I could try to make it current, but it loses, I don't know, the whole point of that movie is nostalgia.
It's an 80s time capsule. Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't see why.
Yeah, to me, like I was saying earlier, this movie stands out among so many other 80s high school teenage movies. It has a more timeless quality. I think the quality of the movie is elevated because of Carl Reiner directing it. It's just remaking it. It's a very basic concept.
It's like just do something different.
Why can't you come up with something just kind of similar? Exactly. Because this movie works really well all on its own still to this day. It's not like Footloose where it's like super dated and an update is very fresh. This movie still doesn't feel old to me.
Fair enough.
That's how I see it.
All right, so let's move on to my favorite part of the show, which is my 3 questions. Ladies, let's go to you first, Christy. Which student was your favorite character and why?
Chainsaw, no question. Like I said before, it seems like his role was meant to stand out to the point where a lot of the best quotes in that movie, most of them are him. I think that it was really, and he's so good looking, and he was then. I mean, I even as a child, like I remember like, oh my goodness, like he's a little bit crazy and I like it. Yeah, I mean, definitely. He's my favorite for sure.
Okay, so all I'm going to do is piggyback for my answer right onto you. Agreed. All the same reasons. Chainsaw. I thought he was handsome then. I now think he was still attractive. He's why I like the tall, dark, and handsome type. And his horror movie love, his quotes, Chainsaw for me, hands down.
I have to go with you, even though he in his own way is quite the bite in the ass. He causes a lot of trouble. I do love Dave. I sort of think of them as really truly sharing a brain. So I have to say Chainsaw and Dave, they're one character. You can't have one without the other. They're yin and yang, damn it. So it's got to be Chainsaw and Dave. But close second would be Denise. I really enjoy her character too. But yeah, I can't get over how many great one-liners and how inspired I am still by Chainsaw Dave. And I love that you guys are pointing out how cute you think Dean Cameron is. To me, my daughter's boyfriend resembles him a little bit. Next time you're looking at a picture of him, keep that in mind and you might see it and go, oh, wait. Oh, I see it. Oh, that's cute. He always reminded me of Chainsaw.
Okay, and question number 2, Nikki, we'll go to you first. Did you in high school have a teacher like Mr. Shoup, or did you want one?
Oh, I totally would have wanted one for sure. I didn't have one like him. No way. Maybe if I'd been, living where I am now in California, I would have, but certainly not where I went to high school. No.
Okay. Do you remember, Christy, if you had a teacher like Mr. Shoup?
I did actually. I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but he was a history teacher and he knew my love of sports, and he had me start keeping books so that I could travel with them and skip school and go with them to the games. He was an excellent, just a good person that wanted people to do well. And he took a liking to me because I was sporty and could talk to him about that type of stuff.
So mine and was actually in junior high when I was in about, I think, 7th grade. I had a science teacher who made earth science fun by playing the guitar, and our lessons were the lyrics, and he would make up songs. That's the closest to a Mr. Shoup that I had, and it was fantastic. I think that his style, Shoup's style, once he got his groove and actually was teaching, I think the fun teachers that can learn to engage their students rather than just stand at the chalkboard and read the lesson are the winners. Because I remember my guitar playing teacher to this day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Robin says it in the movie. The best teachers are the ones who entertain while they teach.
And then final question, as an adult, which character now do you relate to the most? I will go first and say Robin, because she's level-headed, she's a gorgeous brunette, and she loves crocodiles.
What's not to love?
So what do you think, Christy? As an adult now watching the movie, who do you think you relate to the most?
For circumstance and for that purpose, obviously Rhonda. I had a child at that tender age, and I went through all of the feelings and things that she went through. I mean, I went a different route as far as keeping my wonderful son, but definitely as far as that stuff goes, I related to her the most watching the movie, character-wise, just because of the relation.
And then Nikki, who do you think you relate to now?
Unfortunately, it's got to be Chainsaw. I hate to say it. Obviously, as a kid, I was not yet a teenager when I saw this movie. I didn't know who I would become. I certainly wasn't that person in high school. Some people might think it's kind of sad, but I do have a lot of fun in my life that at 40, I'm definitely Chainsaw. Sorry, guys.
It's all good.
I promise not to drink and drive, though. I'll stay sober. I'm yeah.
Did I not lip Chainsaw before she said
yes,
it
she
out
did.
loud?
Yep. I am a horror obsessed, gore obsessed, haunted house horror movie fanatic who's known to throw quite the party that gets out of hand. I'm Chainsaw. Sorry.
All right. Just make sure to keep the fireworks away from whoever you have around there.
Will do.
All right. Everybody listening, if you want to check out Summer School and you don't have it in your own personal collection, I was able to rent it on Paramount TV, so check your local cable provider. It's also currently streaming for rent or purchase on Amazon Prime. So definitely need a rewatch if you love this movie. And if you haven't seen it and our discussion ruined it for you, I'm sorry, but also go check it out. Because you are going to enjoy it. On that note, we're going to wrap this up. I'm Movie Miss. I want to thank my co-host, Nikki Flicks, and special guest, Miss Crash Christy, for joining us on Summer School.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. This was a blast.
On that note, everyone, we'll see you next time. So to sum it up, I'm Chainsaw.
I'm Dave. We'll see you at the movies.
Dave, I agree with you. I'll go a step further. Sure, Leatherface. He wore a mask made out of human skin and he hung people on meat hooks. But hey, we've all got quirks. I've got them. You've got them, Dave. That's what makes this character so compelling. Thumbs up from me. Same here. To sum it up, I'm Chainsaw. I'm Dave. We'll see you at the movies.
Hey listeners, Movie Miss here. Listen, I know you have a lot of options when it comes to podcasts, so thank you for listening to the show. I know everybody says this, but for a fledgling little show like ours that's just hanging on, we just finished season 4, we're rolling into season 5, it would really help us if you could subscribe, rate, and review the show on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Good Pods. We're also on Pandora, Audible, Amazon Music. It would really help us grow the show and reach more people if you could subscribe and then rate and review, which is really the key part of it. Make sure to be part of our bad movie conversation by following us on social media. Interact with me on social media. I'm on Instagram at Movie Miss, which is movie_miss. The show is on Instagram at Let's Talk Turkeys. Also on Blue Sky at Let's Talk Turkeys and Facebook. We're on X. I'm honestly not sure how much longer I'm going to have the show on there, but currently the handle is at Gobble Podcast. Get it? Gobble, 'cause like a turkey. You can also chat with like-minded bad movie lovers in our Facebook discussion group. And like I mentioned, we're rolling into season 5. It is 2025. The show, it's been a wild ride, still going strong. So if you have a movie that you would like to hear covered on the show, let me know by emailing direct at letstalkturkeys, all one word, at yahoo.com. Also, hit me up on socials if you want to be a guest on the show. Always looking for guests. I can assign you a movie, something we think is fun, or you can bring a movie that you think is a bad movie if it has a low Rotten Tomatoes score, or you just really don't like the movie but you like to talk about it. That's half the fun, I think. Again, this goes without saying, but I'm going to say it. Without you, the show wouldn't still be kicking around. So thank you so much for hanging in there with us.
I'll be back.
Get the fuck out of here! No, I cannot. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Why don't you get the fuck out of here? Well, get the fuck out of here. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.